Welcome to the 18th episode of the Brave Frontier 5-Star Unit Cast. My name is Trelox, and I'm joined by Nova and Storm. Pika Hero is also here and managing production behind the scenes. I would like to announce our two newest members of the team, Storm and JD. They're both Twitchers, but I'll let them tell you more about themselves. Storm?
Hi guys, I'm Storm. Most of you have been in my stream before. You know, I do squad analysis. I help people build different teams and whatnot. So if you have any questions, pop by my stream later on. Only thing you really need to know is the 5 is silent.
Nice. And JD, how about yourself?
Hey guys, a lot of you know me, Jolly 5.1. I stream quite often. I know I've messed up a lot of your sleep schedules, but I'm a free-to-play player. I can help you with a lot of the questing and things you need, like how you can play free-to-play, because I am. So if you guys need help with that, I can help. Other than that, I have a lot of fun with most of you, and it's really nice to meet the people I haven't met yet.
And if you guys don't know, they both do like late night streams. So if you're one of those night owls, be sure to check out their stream because they're probably on Twitch. Lance is busy tonight, but will be here in future casts. So tonight is a short stream, but we do have a packed program. We will be ranking the new units, Rin, Lin, Cyclaw, and Ultor, followed by a QA session and the art contest. The winner of the art contest will receive a $10 Amazon gift card and a $50 Amazon code when we receive the next batch of codes. Ranking the units is done on a 1 to 5 scale, 5 being the best, which is then recorded on the bottom left of your screen. We would like you to vote alongside with us by going to www.bfpioneers.com. Tonight, your vote will count as 33% of the overall vote. So we're going to start off with Ultor and Cyclaw, the new global exclusives. And we're going to start with Storm tonight. So, this dungeon came out, and the thing is, some people are kind of disappointed that, these units can only be obtained from rare summon doors. So in your opinion, is it worth to summon these units?
For Cyclopean Ultor, I would give him a definite yes. He has amazing stats. He is the highest attack stat unit in the entire game. And that's just one of his many, many great points.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. A couple things about him is like his leadership skill is one of the few that adds a percentage boost to attack that does not have a qualifier such as typing or multiple types or monotypes like that. So I would definitely summon for Cyclopean Ultor.
So the thing is, I remember when the Halloween units came out, you had to summon 10 times and get a guaranteed Ciara or Samira. And now we have to summon 10 times for Ultor and Cyclaw. What do you think about that system?
I'm kind of torn on it. For one, I know my luck is bad enough that I have to summon the 10 times to get him. But on the flip side, I've seen people spend hundreds and hundreds of gems trying to get a single unit and still not get it. So I do like that there is a hard cap on how many gems I have to spend before getting a guaranteed copy of this unit.
Well said. Well said. Nova, what's your opinion on Ultor?
As far as the rare summon mechanics, I think they need to start bringing that back, because I do agree that you wouldn't really rare summon for one unit unless it was really broken. And at the time, we didn't know that this unit was really broken. So you could only guess, if he was getting a 6-star, how broken it would be and like what are your options. But, at least you had the ability to get one. And I think that was the most important part of getting a exclusive unit, especially when the dungeon for it was coming out so near. Because I know a lot of people would like to wait it out and see, if the unit did get 6-star, should you pull for it then? Luckily, we do have the 6-star form like 2 days. That was like the fastest turnaround we've ever had from 5-star release unit to a 6-star release, and I think he's really worth it.
Okay. And while the viewers are ranking the units, what ranking would you give Ultor, Storm?
I'm going to have to go 5 all the way. He has amazing stats for the most part, and amazing attacks and leadership skills.
And what's your favorite typing on an Ultor?
I'm gonna have to go with Anima. This unit is made to take hits. He has a really a pitiable amount of recovery, so we might as well ditch that just a little bit lower. It's not going to matter that much in the end, and he's one of those units who you're going to have a healer to back him up anyways after he takes those hits. So don't worry too much about his recovery. Just have a healer to back him up.
Gotcha. So the thing is, Samira and Ciara, they were released a month ago, and they promised a 6-star form for them, and it's not out yet. So here we have a 5-star Ultor and Cyclaw, but we don't know when to expect the 6-star form. So Nova, do you think this unit is worth it in the long run?
This unit, I think, is definitely worth investing into, even if you have no clue what it was. I just think the appeal of the original 5-star taunt kind of just turned heads. And looking at the leader skill, 40% attack defense to all, and you get a boost to weak elements. Kind of reminds people a little bit of Maxwell, and I know how much everybody loves Maxwell. And just seeing the extra, guaranteed 40% attack defense, knowing that can go higher, I really wanted to pull a Guardian for it, and I got one. I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, what was your ranking?
My ranking for Ultor is definitely going to be 5. And Guardian's my favorite typing, because the way I see it is you have this unit. He has insane attack, as Storm mentioned, like the highest in the game on both platforms, Japanese version or global. And you don't, I think you don't need 2700 attack. I think like any unit with honestly above 2200 attack would be able to do its job really well. And even though it's kind of odd to say this, but he's really more of a defensive unit, if you ask me. Sure, I can really see his use in Arena, but if you're going to take him along for questing purposes, you're going to use him as an actual tank. This is the first time the game introduces tanking for a team, because there are other times when you have to say, oh, I got to send out my Darwin Shell and BB and hope my one unit that's going to die. And I know a lot of people who fight Maxwell bring a Gra, and their Gra just dies all the time. Now you have that dedicated unit to kind of block for you those single target attacks, which I think do deal more damage than AoE. Because if your team dies from AoE, you can't say that oh, if I brought a different setup it would have worked. You would have gotten wiped either way. So if just you're dying from single target damage, at least you have that one unit, Ultor, who can actually soak all of that in with his massive defense boost. It's insane, and everybody's using this guy as far as I know that has him, so definitely worth.
Nova, I think you briefly touched base on this, but Ultor has a unique mechanic called taunt. So what does taunt really do?
I haven't looked much into it yet myself, but I've used my friends, and it what I was told is all the single target damage that a unit would do, normal attack wise, and I haven't seen regular Brave Burst that single target used on my Ultor yet, but if that's true, then probably single target Brave Burst on him as well. So basically, your enemy just randomly attacks your units. Then you just gotta pray to RNG it, you have a really low unit. You hope it doesn't hit that. Whereas when you do taunt, you kind of redirect all these single target damage focus to Ultor instead. And with his super brave burst being a defense buff on himself, that definitely makes him much more of a tank, and it allows the rest of your team to kill the enemy a lot quicker, because if he wasn't broken enough, they just decided to give this guy 120% attack boost to all of your units for one turn. Even though it's one turn, it's definitely enough, because we do have a lot of units that can maintain that unlimited Brave Burst that so many teams like to strive for.
And there was a question here regarding typings. Now, if you get a Lord Ultor, should you resummon, or should you just be content with what you have?
It depends on if you're free to play or pay to play. If you're free to play, any version of a unit is vastly superior to not having that unit at all.
Yeah.
If you're pay to play, this guy's type. Like, his stats are sky high regardless. The only one that's low is recovery. I would not waste more gems trying to get another version of him. Just imp him up because he has amazing imp stats as well. He's going to be great regardless of what typing you get. Even Oracle is usable here because that boosts his recovery into usable range.
Gotcha. So guys, well, the thing about Ultor is I don't have an Ultor because I thought they would give us a little more time for the summoning to happen, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
Storm, do you have an Ultor?
Yeah, I did. I had to do 10 summons, and I got a free one in my mailbox after that.
What type was it?
Mine was Anima, which
nicely
might
done.
be a bias as to why I picked Anima for my typing.
And Nova, what's your unit?
I actually have the same story as Storm. I did my 10 summons and I got an Anima one. And I was looking at this guy and I was like, oh, Anima, I usually take Anima or Guardian because those are usually the two best types for like all the units that you'd want to keep. And, I'd be okay with that, but there was something that was knocking on me. It's like I was doing this like the day after Thanksgiving and I was like, if I could just get a Guardian Ultor, that would be great. So I did one more. And guess what it was? A Guardian Ultor. And I was so happy because I knew this guy was going to go crazy when his 6-star came out. And then the next day came out, the dungeon was up and I was like, what? Excuse me?
Speaking of which, you have 2 Ultors, right? So
yep.
Would there ever be a situation where you need more than one Ultor?
The only way I could see you actually using multiples of him would be in Arena for his insane, like, one-turn kill ability with his insanely high attack. Even for that reason alone, I think he's good enough to raise multiples of. But as far as actual use, I could see you bringing 2, because if you can't heal all the time, you want to kind of like trade off the single target damage. So like you'll get your Ultor focused one turn. Maybe your team doesn't get unlimited Brave Burst back. Then use the other Ultor or use a friend's Ultor. So it really depends if you want to do that kind of setup where if you're going into a fight where there's a lot of single target damage and that single target damage will inevitably kill one of your units that's squishy. You can bring 1 or 2 of these guys or even a friend and kind of trade off the damage that way. You don't have to rely on one. If your Ultor dies and that causes the rest of your team to die, that's not good either.
Mm-hmm. Well, looks like someone, Cumin, said he got an Ultor from a free summon ticket. So,
nice.
Wow. Really lucky. RNG is on your side. Okay, so what do the viewers think? How many votes do we have?
Well, viewers, I remember seeing the 4-star raise up a bit, and then the 5-star like shot up again. So we have 25 votes right now for 5-star, and 21 for 4. So 5-star wins.
So this reminds me, what other 5-star unit did we give complete 5s to? One was Tillith. Was there another?
Trying to think, because I know I think Kula was one that I think everybody agreed was a 5-star across the board, and I'm not sure if Gra was one, but I don't think we did one when Gra was out. I'm pretty sure the only other one would be Maxwell. That was definitive. It was like pure 5s across the board.
And it looks like Darvin Shell received all 5s as well.
Yeah, Darvin Shell, when he came out, was also 5 stars across the board. And I think Zelnite falls under that same category. Pretty much, a lot of the units that you see people using as leaders generally get 5 stars from us and from you guys across the board. Because if you use a unit as your leader, that basically means, like, this unit is like the best unit ever, and I want you guys to use it. It's obviously you'll see different units changing from time to time, but in general, you always see that one friend having that one unit for the most majority of the time.
In regards to your question, Wolf Clan, whether Breaker Ultor is good, as Storm pointed out, any typing on an Ultor you should be satisfied with, especially if you're a free-to-play player. So keep it. And yes, very good in Arena Breaker, by the way. All right, the next unit is Cyclaw. Nova, what's your opinion on Cyclaw?
For a free-to-play unit, I think he's okay. He's definitely not bad, but it's just that, you know, you're just supposed to rare summon a lot, and like there's enough rare summon units 6-star better than any 5-star unit out there. The only difference I'd say would be Gra, because Gra is nuts at 5-star, and Tillith is also nuts. But I like his 50% defense leader skill, and he's one of the few, now I can say few, units that boosts crit as well on his leader skill. And for a lot of teams that don't have crit buffer, just bringing like 1 or 2 of these guys could help out damage output wise, but I don't see him getting any further than basic storyline or questing, or just farm this guy because you're doing level 1 and you're a new player, you know, and you want to level him up, and you don't have an Ultor, so you got this guy instead. And and I just don't like him.
See, wait,
for his
need...
BB. So
wow.
So you don't need this guy.
Oh.
Like, I like the concept, but you don't need him. There's just so many better units out there that this guy can easily be overlooked. His stats aren't amazing. His BB skill is lackluster. His leader skill, I actually like his leader skill, but that's like forgettable as well. It's just kind of unique. And I don't like his art. He looks like a badly drawn car, if you ask me. But
I remember on the Brave Frontier Facebook page, they were like, well, having an Ultor would greatly help you in the Cyclaw dungeon. So I'm thinking, well, Cyclaw must be way better than Ultor, because you have to go in dungeon and try to capture him. That's not the case?
That's completely false, because everybody knows that the actual unit you face in like a Vortex is like 50 bajillion times stronger than what it actually is as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of scales relatively because I'm pretty sure everybody has seen or have heard of Maxwell, and that fight was like through the roof ridiculous. And to tone that down, you got a ridiculous unit. But I feel that, you know, Cyclaw's dungeon could be completed without Ultor, so it wasn't you know, that ridiculous, and therefore his 5-star form is kind of average to mediocre.
So given your description of Cyclaw, how would you rank the unit?
2 stars. I'd give him a 1-star, but he's, you know, he's not a Bernie. And typing, I honestly couldn't care, so I'm gonna give him an Oracle.
Yeah, I can see that. Storm, what do you think of Cyclaw?
So I actually like Cyclaw from a free-to-play standpoint. Let me go ahead and put this out there real quick, though. Everybody needs at least 2 of this guy. His Vortex is only open until December 5th, and his 5-star version is a requirement to evolve Ultor. Now, if Ultor stays in the rare summon gate and you get one down the road, you will be unable to evolve him without one of these guys. So even if you didn't summon an Ultor now, go ahead and grab one just to prepare, just in case. I know unit space is a thing, but just in case, guys. But as far as the unit goes, his 5-star stats are actually really comparable and competitive with other 5-stars that have been coming out from the rare summon gate. So that's pretty good. I don't like his leadership skill. I've never been a fan of boosting it to defense. I'm more of an attack kind of guy. His leadership skill also gives out 15% boost to crit, which is really low. There are better free-to-play units that offer that kind of crit boost. But his Brave Burst is what interests me. It's 8 hits. It has a low amount of BC generation, but it does have a pretty good chance at paralysis and weakness. So if you're looking for something to fill in that gap while you're under level 100, while you can't run a full squad of 6 stars, Turbo Cyclaw might be the guy for you. Pretty good stats, a chance to paralysis and weakness, and with the breaker typing, he's got about 2k attack, which makes him really competitive. But I'm still going to give him a 2-star.
Oh,
still going to give him a 2-star.
Aha.
Typing?
Typing's definitely going to be a breaker for him to get that 2K attack to make him competitive.
I haven't started the Cyclaw dungeon yet, but how difficult is it to actually capture Cyclaw and run through the dungeon?
A lot of people have been complaining about the capture rates through 1 and 3. Some people are getting really lucky and getting him 3 out of 3 times. Some people are getting him only 1 out of 12 times. The dungeons aren't very difficult, but the third one is going to be the most difficult. He does have on turn 3, he'll do a single target AoE. He'll do an AoE on turn 3, so make sure you guard for that. And on turn 5, he'll do a massive single target attack. So make sure you use Ultor if you've got it for that. Just guard on those turns. And if you take too long, he will start to use Gumi's new shield mechanic. And so he'll put a purple HP bar up, and you have to burn through that and then kill him before he has a chance to activate it again.
No, I remember that. That was from Dilius as well back then in this Halloween dungeon. The shield. Very annoying.
Yeah. That shield mechanic, that just shows that Gumi is implementing more and more MMO raid mechanics with their units, their new trials, like Trial of the Gods. And so that is interesting to see, but it is a bit challenging if you don't pass the DPS check.
Well, what did the viewers vote?
Well, the viewers were kind of mixed and split right down the middle. 3 stars, 13 votes for that, and 4 stars for 2 stars, and 3 votes for 4 stars.
Is that 2K attack stat?
So 3 stars?
Yep.
All right, let's move on. Next unit are the Vocaloid units, surprisingly, that were released today. The first unit we're ranking is Rin. Storm, why don't you start us off? What do you think of Rin?
From a just wide base point of view, I don't like Rin. I don't like defense boosting units. I've never seen defense as a necessary stat. I prefer to do the hittings and then make sure they don't get back up rather than taking the hits, which is also why I don't like Lily Mata. It's really going to depend on how the boosts work for her Brave Burst. She's got almost the exact same stats as Cyclaw at level 5, which is kind of upsetting because you have to spend gems for her and you can get Cyclaw for free. Other than that, I would go with an anima typing for her just because it helps her sustainability. But there's not really much to talk about with her. She's a pretty vanilla unit. Defense boost on Brave Burst and a multi-target AoE attack.
So what was the numerical ranking that you gave Rin?
I'm going to give her I'm going to go with 2 for now because she's a really depressing 5-star. We've been getting a lot of really good ones. I mean, if you compare to the last batch,
yeah. I
mean, it's just no contest.
So Nova, looks like Storm said, Rin's a very depressing unit. Now, there is going to be a 6-star form out. So what do you think of her 5-star form, and what do you predict her 6-star form will be?
Okay, so for Rin's 5-star form, at my first glance too, I thought this was a very vanilla-ish unit, because a lot of units that are released by Gumi, look very unappealing at first glance. And then I try to dig a little bit deeper just to see if anything's there. And I looked at her leader skill, and it was kind of like a regen esque leader skill where you get HP per turn and an increase to heart crystal drop rate. And what I'm seeing here is kind of the necessity of filling in that pseudo healer spot that a lot of teams are kind of looking for, because a lot of teams don't want to bring a unit that doesn't hit as high, but they also want to bring a unit that generates heart crystals for the team, because bringing healers for whatever reason I think doesn't really sit well with a lot of people if they don't need to bring one, because it's more of an annoyance, I think. Because looking to future content, I can see Rin kind of being used in the spot of where you would have a healer just for her leader skill. because 20% heart crystal drop rate is decently fair amount, especially when you spread it across 6 members of your team. And I know a lot of teams who don't have a healer, so having a Rin for that kind of pseudo-esque role would help, as well as the HP regen per turn. Now, the thing is, looking at her Brave Burst, it's a 17 AoE combo to all with a 40% defense buff. And 40%, it's better than 0%. So it's better than a, standard AoE attack. But she doesn't hit hard at all with it. That's the thing. The new units at 5 stars aren't really that appealing to use anyway. But I kind of like the concept of bringing in a unit that can, kind of help the team pseudo heal itself, even though you don't have any units that can heal. So I guess I give her like a 2.5-ish, but since Storm gave her a 2, I'm probably gonna go and give her a 3. And as you guys know, my favorite typing for units in general is Guardian, so Guardian for Rin as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we have any questions for from the chat? Now the thing is, I'm kind of skeptical because when Miku came out at her 5-star form and then Luca came out, people really hyped, oh my gosh, she's so good. And then I don't see anyone using Miku or Luca. And now Rin and Lin are here. So I'm not sure what to feel at this point.
I am also genuinely confused because I'm just looking 2 lines above that at Ultor. That's a global exclusive unit, and that's the first global exclusive unit that we have at 6 stars. And if that's the standard of 6-star units for global exclusive releases, then I don't know what to expect from these 2, because they do have a lot of hidden potential that can be tapped out in the same way Samira and Ciara have at their 5-star form. Because, honestly, I don't really want to take a look at a unit's 5-star form and judge them based on that, because that's really kind of just an intermediary step that nobody really cares about, because you're not going to be using that unit in that form, because the game is already way past 5-star units. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't make a valid argument for at least rare summon units at 5 stars, because if they are stuck at 5 stars and they'll never get a 6-star, that means they probably will never be used. And even farmable units like the Reed batch, like we went over, they were capped at 5 stars, but they do have 6-star forms coming. So that means even free units are getting 6 stars. And if you're limited to 5 stars, you're just kind of just waiting to see what happens with them.
What do the viewers pick?
The viewers are kind of strange as well. They don't know what to think of Rin. We're currently at 10 votes for 3 stars and 9 votes for 4 stars. So if it stays like this for 5 more seconds, it's going to be 3 stars. But it looks like we're not getting any more votes.
2, 1. Okay, so 3-star it is. Wow. So contrary to last week's unit analysis, we did 19 mega units. We are already at our last unit. The last unit is the other Vocaloid, her partner, Lin. Nova, your opinion on Lin, please.
I don't see Lin at his 5-star form doing anything else other than trying to imitate Ziz, kind of. Because I've never been a fan of AoE hits, and even though Len hits 35 times, which is stupid, Um, that's the highest amount of hits we have in the game, which is pretty ridiculous on a 5-star unit. So God knows what's coming for the 6-star form, especially when you add in a super brave burst on top of that. And you look at his regular hit count too, and it's 25 hits. And normally you'd look at I had to take a second look at that. I looked at it again, and it still said 25, because the highest hit count in for normal hits we had in game was Demo, and Demo did 17 hits, and that was a lot of hits. And she basically had a drop check of 34, which is really on the high end. And Len kind of blows this out of the water with 25 hits and two drop checks, so that's 50. That's right, 50 Battle Crystal drop checks. And I know that if you guys are coming from the Halloween event, or if you guys have cleared the trial for Selena, you will have a double hit sphere. Which means if you throw a double hit sphere on a unit that generates 50 Battle Crystals, you have a potential of 100 Battle Crystal drop checks. And that's way too many. I honestly don't know how teams will even function with that many Battle Crystal generation on regular hits, because in like one turn I could see you getting like super brave bursts with just like 1 or 2 of these guys with double hit spheres. So in my opinion, even though I don't like AoE hits, I like his insane drop check on his regular attack. So he's gonna get a 3 from me. As far as his stats go, it's kind of similar to, I guess, the standard like attacking unit. You have higher attack and defense and kind of lowish recovery. So once again, favorite typing on him is going to be Guardian, but I have a breaker one. So right now I really don't care too much, because in general, for me at least, I don't like Vocaloids as much as other units, but this is definitely one I'm definitely going to keep my eye on in the future.
Storm, what's your opinion?
Of the new units, Lin is quite possibly my most favorite. He has a new mechanic which I really, really enjoy, and that's where his leadership skill, the Soundless Voice, comes into play. Now, Soundless Voice has a chance, I believe it's 25%, of absorbing HP from the enemy on attack. And as you all know, I prefer to attack more than defend, so when I can get health back while punching the enemy's face back in, that's really amazing for me. Now, there's a catch-22 with this guy. So yeah, he's got that amazing leadership skill. On the flip side, his attack boost is only 40%. You can get a better attack boost off of a free-to-play unit like Weiss, who gives out 60% at BB level 10. But Weiss doesn't attack, so there is that. Like Nova was saying, he has an amazing drop check. His stats are pretty mediocre. He's really comparable to Cyclaw, which is sad. Again, Cyclaw free, Lin, 5 gems, that kind of comparison going on. But he's got so much going for him with the ability to absorb HP, the 35 hits. We haven't quite tested it out enough. We're wondering whether the fact that it's a random hit will make it able to be critted or not. So that still needs to be tested. But he's great in Arena. He's shown a lot of potential for questing. As far as I'm concerned, I really like the breaker typing for him. I know that's like my go-to typing for most units, but the ability to put that extra damage on your 35 hits just feels so good. So I'm really excited to see Lin's 6-star form. Hopefully it'll bring more to the table stat-wise, and hopefully we'll see a Super Brave Burst that does not consist of a bunch of random hits, because we've seen random hits make a good unit turn bad, like in Eric's case. Eric gets a lot of hate because his is a random hit with a high percentage boost and the inability to crit.
How many stars are you giving Lin?
I'm gonna go with Nova as well, 3 stars. He has a lot of potential, but it's really scaled back by the amount of attack boost and the random attack.
You did mention that his leader skill is unique and that it gives a chance to drain HP on attack. But there are other units such as Luli that gives a Heart Crystal drop, and there's other units that give Heart Crystal drops. Isn't that like similar mechanics in the long run just like there's like BC reduction or the BB reduction, increased BC drop, those leader skills are kind of similar?
It is a kind of a similar ability. What it is heart crystals. They're going to give you a certain amount based on your recovery. And if you have a whole bunch of anima and not a lot of recovery, you're not going to get as much HP. Now, this has the potential to surpass those because it's going to be a percentage based on the amount of damage that you do. So you bring a whole bunch of breakers, you do the extra damage, you get the extra health. Again, it's playing back to they're bringing in MMO mechanics, and this is just sapping attacks. So it's a lot of interesting new mechanics that's coming out, and I'm really interested to see where they go with these.
So I think you vouch for the breaker typing, and that typings might actually come to fruition now that Lin is out, and you get a lot of recovery with the amount of attack you do. Okay, and viewers, what did you guys vote?
Oh man. Okay. So, they like I guess the 25 hits kind of went crazy on everybody and made them vote 5-star because we have 15 votes for that, and then we have 8 votes for 4-star and 7 votes for 3-star.
Okay. Now, even though the viewers voted 5 stars, the average looks pretty good. Ultor got all 5s. Lin averaged out to a 3.7, with Rin at 2.7 and Cyclaw at 2.3. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Now we're going to ask the question, should free-to-play users summon on this batch of units? I want to clarify that we are talking about the Rin and Lin set, because this is the set that's out right now. So should free-to-play users summon on this batch?
Looking at overall at both of these units, we've got 2 units with rates up, which is better than just that 1 unit with rates up. I'm going to go with no. Right now, their stats are pretty mediocre, and I'm kind of holding on hope that they will get a 6-star, and then we'll be able to assess them at their 6-star form, and then get a rate up then. But from what I'm seeing right now, they're not game changing enough that free to play users should try to summon them, because they don't fit in any. They don't fit a niche part of any squad that's extremely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with no on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Going off what Storm said, I'd have to agree as well. To contrast the niche part, like units like Narza, Davern Shell, Olu, that fill that half damage, very specific role that you kind of need somewhere on your team or multiple teams. And the other side is the generalized role, units that you bring to like everything, something like Cell Knight, Elsa, something that hits high because you generate lots of battle crystals. Like even though Len, does generate a lot of battle crystals, that's on his normal attack. A lot of people don't really use normal attacks outside of Arena, Metal Parade. You usually want to BB a lot, and BB does hit high, but it's still only 5-star, and we don't know what's going to happen to their 6-star form, so I would hold out as well, especially if you're free to play. We already know that the Fiora batch was released, and I definitely would rather summon for that batch if I was a free to play player, because all of those units are really good, and it's better than having unknown question marks.
Okay. So, we were going to start the QA session. Do you guys have any questions, Brave Frontier related? I'm looking at the questions right now.
Oh God.
We can answer some of these. But if this is all we get, we're going to move on to the art contest.
Yeah.
Are the art contestants?
There is a delay, so I'll give the people some time and quickly, quickly talk about like these 2 global exclusives, because this is the first time that we are actually getting units that we have no clue what was going to happen to them, because these are global exclusives. So this was an actual unit analysis, but other than like really Ultor, we can't really say too much, because you can't really compare the other units, to the units we have now. Ultor getting a 5 across the board from the viewers, Storm, and myself really shows that, you know, um, when a unit is like an exclusive and we had no clue what it did, and then they brought out the 6-star form and how that fit into the game, it kind of like changed it to the point where we had to give, you know, like 5, 5, 5, and I'm kind of interested to see, you know, will Gumi be taking the stance on releasing these really like powerful units and like the direction we're going in game wise. So if they're releasing all of this stuff now, you know, it only makes me think, you know, what else? You know, we already have Trial of the Gods. Is there going to be something more difficult than that, where we'd need, you know, even stronger units, stronger spheres?
My answer is yes. I think because of this uncertainty, they can potentially release, you know, any type of unit, and it'll be unexpected, and it will probably be game-changing, like a lot of people say. So that's my prediction, at least. So we do have some questions now. We have a question from Pedo. I see top arena rankers using Ultor as arena lead. How would you construct a good team with him as lead?
That's totally Nova's department.
All right. So, okay. Let's start off this Q&A session with a question to that people have been asking. It's like, when are you guys going to get the Skywalker? The answer is we already got there. As of, I believe it was 12 hours ago, Karaza, #1 player in Brave Frontier, can probably say that, hands down, reached Skywalker, and that's when we kind of hit the max arena rank. And now, you know, a lot of other people are catching up, but for the most part, like, we're kind of done with all the fancy new spheres from arena. And as far as how Ultor goes into, you know, how it changed the arena meta, was that a lot of teams were basically running Zerg before that. Okay, so Zerg was #1. The reason he was #1 was because of his insanely high damage output turn 1. So turn 1, you basically had a 100% attack boost, like with no spheres on all your units, and that's basically good enough, you know, to kill a lot of other units. And then you just put spheres on top of that, you know, things go crazy, a lot of people die, and you get a lot of battle crystal fill from overkill, and as well as, you know, fancy double hit spheres, because you generate more battle crystals that way. And how Ultor kind of forced his way into that gap was that he gave that 15% crit buff on top of a 50% attack and defense buff that were also no restrictions, because a lot of people like to experiment with their arena teams and see, you know, like what unit would fit in this slot, what unit would fit in that slot better. And with the units we had before, you know, like Dia, you had to have like 5 elements, you know, 5 elements, all different. And, you know, sometimes you wanted to use a unit in the same element and you couldn't fulfill that role. And with Ultor, you know, you just got this insanely great leader skill, which gives crit buff on top of that, because now you can stack that crit buff with, you know, your Amano Habakids, and if you have dual sphere units, you can throw in the Havoc Axe on top of that, which basically means you're running a crit team without Maxwell as your leader, because you also get 50% attack and defense, which is good in its own right. Not to mention his insanely high attack stat, which helps in, you know, kind of murdering a lot of units turn 1, which is the way the arena seems to be going now. He does also help, you know, your team with survivability with that 50% defense. I think that's kind of more of a bonus. And when you put all of that, you know, in one unit, you just kind of have to put him as your leader for arena, and then you just kill everything, and you have a better chance to survive as well. And I'm probably going to be switching my leader to Ultor very soon as well, when I BB level him.
Here's a question from Zafragen. I'm around 135,000 ABP at the moment, which is Warlord, and I just want the endgame arena spheres. Should I gem up? So I guess that question's for you too, Nova.
More Nova departments.
Okay, so jamming arena right now it's a bad idea because when you gem arena, you really want to get, if you're looking at cost efficiency, you want to get the most out of your gem. And when I did mine, this was back when you could still see your opponent's AVP, and that really helps because you can see if that person was 3,000 AVP or more above you. And if you win, you gain 200. If you lose, you'll lose 10 points. That wasn't that big of a deal. Now, if you're going to gem from 135,000 ABP all the way up to where I'm at, which is 1.3 million ABP, that means you are going to have to get, okay, let's do some little math here. You need to get 1.1 million ABP just to get to where I'm at. And the chances of you kind of, winning all of your, arena matches, it's very slim. So let's say you have a good arena team, like you win, you win like 15 out of 16 times. But of those 15 wins, you're supposed to get three of those. Math. Sorry. 15 wins, that translates into maximum of 200 ABP per win, which means you can get up to 3,000 ABP. Now, with 3,000 ABP, that's assuming you have to fight people 3,000 ABP above you. Since that's no longer the case, you could get anywhere between 10 to 200. So if you average that out, you get like 100 per win. And then if you lose, you also average out to 100 ABP, no loss. So basically, you're cutting down your gems worth by a considerable amount, over half. And that just means for you to get to the same level, it would take you 2 to 3 times more gems. And I don't even want to tell you how many gems it'll take you to get where I'm at in Arena, because if I do this properly, let's see. You have 1.1 million, and you average 100 ABP per win. So that's, you average 300 ABP per gem. You would have to spend, like 3,700 gems. Do you want to spend 3,700 gems? I don't think so.
All right, so the answer for you is no, don't spend it. From Warlord. I'm pretty sure I'm past Warlord as well. But yeah, the climb to the Skywalker is extremely difficult. I mean, Nova was already up there gemming and playing all day.
It was painful.
But you did it on stream too, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of Arena. It's a silly place. I don't like to go there.
All right, guys. So, do you think we should wrap it up? Storm? No?
Do you guys have any questions for Storm?
Yeah, any questions for Storm?
Any non-arena questions? Let's play to my strong points here. Like Thunder teams against Maxwell. That's totally my strong point. After they got rid of that ABP hack, where you could see the ABP on Arena, I kind of just stopped doing it.
When will Raid Battle be out?
Soon.
Wow,
that's the official response too.
answers.
That is actually the official response is soon.
Yeah. If I was asked the question, I would respond with the exact answer, soon.
Okay, here's a question for you, Storm. Did you beat Maxwell with your Thunder team?
No, we didn't. We got to the 70% mark on Maxwell, and we managed to do the run like from start to finish in about 5 minutes, I think. It was a really quick run with double Rogan. There's just amazing amount of damage.
Okay. Storm, would you say a double Graw or Lily Graw works better for Maxwell?
Depending on what the other 4 units are, most of the time I'm going to go with double Gra because it gives you a 40% boost to all of your stats, which is an amazing leadership skill when you have 2 of them. And the other part is you take 30% less damage from both Abaddon and Maxwell, which is huge.
Okay. Storm, what's a good Maxwell team using Narza?
Ugh. You're going to need Zelnite on that team. Narza is a hole you throw BC at and hope it pays off. I know Narza's a great unit, but he doesn't have a lot of love for me, mainly because he can't attack. That's why I like Darvin Shell so much better. Darvin Shell's ability to attack, it doesn't really matter how much damage he does, but he has he has the ability to generate BC while guarding your team and having the damage, which is fantastic. Narza, on the flip side, has the ability with he has a mixture of Lily Mata with Darvin Shell, but he doesn't generate any BC, and so you're going to constantly be throwing Fluid Potions at him every time you need defense. And so you'll need someone like Zelnite or some high drop check units just to get the BC to fill up for Narza.
Okay. All right, Storm. Here we go. Will you ever sing on stream?
I actually sing on my stream like every 5 seconds. It's nothing like real songs. It's just, random things I'm saying. I just decided to sing instead. I get bored. Things happen. It's kind of weird.
Actually, I made up that question.
Oh. Well, now you guys have heard it. Confirmed. We do the weird stuff.
All right, well, I'm coming on stream. I'm going to ask you to sing. Okay, here we go. It is time to reveal the art contest. Now, the art contest, it's been a couple of months. The first art contest finished. When did it finish? In October? And then we started up another season. And now it's been approximately 2 months, and we have a lot of great submissions. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to post all the submissions on there, and the votes will actually start up at the end when you've seen all the artwork. So get an idea of who you want to vote for, and then Pika will give you a link, and that's how you vote. The winner, like I said, wins a $10 Amazon gift card and a 50% Amazon code. All right, guys. Storm, Nova, are you ready?
Oh, so ready. Let's do this thing.
All right, here we go. So we're going to start off with some of the more creative and unique pictures. These pictures are not up for vote, okay? So we're going to start with these. And here is our first picture. All right, so what do you guys think of this picture? Our faces.
Oh, man. Why?
I knew there was a reason I didn't have my webcam activated anymore. It's a good reason.
Man, I wish Eco was here. There's quite a bit of him as well. Well, I think it's very fitting that Lance got the, what is that thing called? The green one.
The Mossy.
The Mossy, that's right. Oh, how unique. Is Pika here? Pika?
Pika's in chat, yeah.
Pika's here.
I'm here.
Hey, Pika, what do you think about your picture?
Silence.
Oh, man. Okay,
Oh, wait,
okay.
me?
I think he's taken too much of a beating the past few days.
Wait, who?
All right, well, that is our first submission, and let's go on to the next picture.
I want my picture on a Pumberkini. That's what I want.
Oh, wow. This is our next picture. It's a picture of Eco on a Zagar.
Okay. lovely.
I think he'll actually appreciate that one. I think he will.
All right. So, who submitted number 1 or number 2? Was it you, Chocolate Bun? Because I think I got quite a bit from you.
Oh man, Draython.
All right. We know our viewers have excellent Photoshop skills.
Just the absolute best photoshopping I've ever seen, hands down.
Oh man. Draython did both. All right. Draython.
Why?
He studied diligently at the foot of Chocolate Bun on how to Photoshop.
Yes, yes. And here's our next picture. This one's actually this one I knew is from you, Draython. Oh, you guys will see it.
Seems like famous Brave Frontier figures on units are a thing.
Why an Elulu though? That's what I want to know. Why the Elulu?
I think the contrast to the ridiculousness of her hammer highlights the ridiculousness of the face.
I like how the face was zoned. It fits right there inside the helmet.
Yeah, and it synergizes with like a happy child getting ready to bop some whack-a-moles. That giant electrified hammer between.
Now, remember guys, when viewing art, you must first cover your face and then quickly remove your eyes, or remove your hands, so you have fresh eyes when viewing art.
Ah. And the next picture is Eco again on a Dia. This one's credited to Chocolate Fun, but Draython, if you did this one, yeah,
Oh god.
credits to you too.
I think this picture has the most plot so far of all of our photos. I think that's what we have here. It's just the most plot.
Well, people are like, "What? This is the art contest? This is all we have to do?"
Oh god.
So if you guys can draw, it looks like we need
Just
arts.
little computer skills.
I wonder where all the actual artists are, because I'm pretty sure I could do this if I wanted to, maybe.
I love how like the transparency in Dia, the transparent picture, you can still see the transparency.
Yep, still there.
All right, next one has to be one of my favorites out of these.
Oh
It's
man.
Pika. Oh man.
Pika seems to be really popular with the artists.
Yeah, well, you gotta just like jump into his channel someday and take a look at his viewers. They're hilarious, and whenever the song requests are on, oh man. That's why Pika is actually here. He's just not talking.
He's ashamed.
I think this picture has him speechless, even if he wasn't, even if he was talking. He'd be speechless.
His last moments captured in art.
Truly a magnificent work of art deserving of hanging in the Louvre. Absolutely magnificent.
All right.
So after this,
So now we're going to start on the second batch of artwork. This is the batch where you can vote on. So let us know your opinion. If you are here, if you are the artist who created that work, you can say something about your artwork, say what inspired you, or how you made it. And here we go. The first contestant is Butt Scar.
such a great name. Such a great name.
Fantastic.
Now,
So I gotta say this Vargas actually looks better than the one they have in the Gumi commercial by a lot. I'm sorry, no, did I take your comments?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say that even though this Vargas, I believe, is either a 2-star, 1-star, or 3-star, it definitely gets a 6-star compared to the other ones I've seen so far. As far as the art contest has been going.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys will be able to create, who knows, even 7-star works of art, because we are going to get 7-star units in the future. It's been confirmed. Now we're just waiting.
Okay. So this is like the human form, and I think it's pretty nice. I think if he had a human form, it would probably look similar, something similar to that. Our next contestant is Kami Cat. And you guys can probably guess who this is.
I wish I had like a fraction of the amount of talent that Comic Cat has. That is a really greatly done picture.
Mm-hmm.
Really greatly. That's not even.
I want a Fiora 6-star now.
For the plot, right?
He
Not
does.
just the plot.
Kami Cat usually just draws on stream, and his viewers. He does a lot of drawings. Like I think he's done Elza once. He's done a Sola. He also does other drawings not involving Brave Frontier.
That
Alright.
skill, yeah.
Our third contestant is Lord Imperius. Of course, all these artworks, they were submitted to us via our website. And I remember Lord Imperius was actually one of the first to submit. And this is a drawing of Tiara.
I'll say it again. Just a fraction of this amount of talent, and I would be happy. I can't even draw a straight line.
I remember when I was like a kid, we had those like transparent paper, and I would have like the outline of the drawing under that paper. I would try to trace over it, and even my tracing wasn't as good as like any of these drawings.
Yeah, these guys have so much talent. I drew a stick man once, and it looked like a Richter scale.
The next contestant is Nikki. And here we see the Vocaloids and Demo and the girl.
Oh man, now he's gonna have to redo and add in Lin and Rin. We're like one away from having a full Vocaloid squad.
Yeah, the thing is, all these drawings that we're getting, people have been working on them for quite a while. And the art contest has been a couple of months, so.
I really like the signature. That's really fancy. I can't even sign my name that nice. And so it looks like this was hand drawn and not done using a computer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so this was Nikki, you said?
This is Nikki, yeah.
Man, you guys have some really awesome talent. I like the little piano stairs leading away from Demo and the girl. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Okay, and the next drawing is from Cyclaw. With the drawing of Elsa.
Oh, that's when I'm excited. Elsa's one of my new favorite units.
Mm-hmm. I know Jadi was really hyped about Elsa. It still is.
Oh snap! That is really well done.
Yeah.
I really like the use of shading that's going on in this picture. Like that's actually an advanced art technique that a lot of people don't know how to do, and so it's really cool seeing that on a submission like this for our art contest. That's a lot of work that somebody put into this. That's really impressive.
The thing, like, she also has a tattoo. Like, without the tattoo, it would have been like, just an Elsa. But like, it gives her like a lot of character. I see. Okay. The next drawing we have is from a regular viewer. This is No Pro.
Oh, No Pro drew something? I can't wait to see this.
Yep. Is drawing of Cygnus. Now, I know Sunik isn't going to love this.
I've seen a lot of Cygnus fans. Wondering how that fan base started.
I think Nova can answer that question, right? Nova loved Cygnus. Do you still love Cygnus?
I do still love Cygnus. Oh. Because, like, when we were doing our unit analysis for... this was way back when the 12 Guardian of the Gods came out, and like that was the first, kind of like major upgrade to like mono teams we got in a long time. And I looked at all the units, and it was like, there's only one unit that really stood out for me that was kind of like different art-wise from the rest, that was like Cygnus, because like she had this really cool exoskeleton with like a snow lion. And for me, like a lot of other units had, like flaming swords, but you had like an actual exoskeleton, like a really cool animal. And her art was really well drawn. I wish her stats and her, usefulness were better than that. But, art-wise, like, for me, Cygnus is number one. And a lot of people agreed. So now, like, there's, like, a whole Cygnus fan base out there.
All right. Our next contestant is Egoist. Egoist does some graphic design, and I've seen some of the stuff that he's done, and it's pretty cool. He's done some stuff for in regards to, like, I think Nova will know more about this, right? Because
Ego, has done like a lot of background design for a lot of people's streams, and it's kind of more on the like editing side. You're given pictures, and then how do you make it better? Make it your own. And that's art as well.
Yep.
I think majority of the Brave Frontier streamers actually have a background or at least something done by Egoist on their stream. He does really good work on the technical side. He approached me in stream one day and was like, "Hey, you want a background?" And I was kind of expecting, something involving crayons and a webcam, but I was like, sure, man, sure. And he gave me like this amazing Elza background, and I used it until I finally got a overlay for my channel. But I still use it as like a desktop background because he does some fantastic work.
All right. And the final contestant is Mischievous Star. Mischievous Star sent her in her drawing. It was like yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Oh wow! So that's a Ciara picture, huh?
Yeah, the plot is strong in this one.
So
And
strong, such strong.
Yeah, the like aura design on top of the like. Now this one has like really good shading, like it really highlights places where you want to.
I saw Mistress Star in the chat. If you want, you can give. Oh, there she is. You can let people how you made that drawing. Looks like a lot of people like it.
It's really well done. I like how you've done your signature right here in this void, to kind of cover up the void and just add something in there. I know a lot of artists have unique ways of how they put their signatures on their artwork, and so it actually becomes a part of the artwork later on.
Yeah, and just for me, it's really the attention to detail. Like you can really zoom in on any part of this picture, and you can really see how much that person worked on it.
All right, guys. So now I'm going to try to get all the images up at the same time, and we will start the vote. We'd love to see what you think about these artwork. All these people spend a lot of time and effort.
I'm actually surprised by the number of high quality submissions we got. I didn't realize that we have this many talented people in our community. I know we have a couple of people who are just really, really talented at what we do. I didn't realize there would just be this many. All of the submissions I saw for the art contest that weren't faces on things, they're just really well done. And each one has a different element, a different variety of skills and style shown in them, which is really nice to see.
All right, guys. Shown on your screen are all 8 contestants. Pika, when you're ready, let's open up the vote. I am going to cover up the vote so people can't see it. And the winner will be revealed in... How long do you want to give our viewers, guys?
Like 5 minutes.
5
should
minutes?
be enough.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested in seeing how this is going to end, how it's going to play out. I'm curious to see who's going to win. We got a lot of tough competition here today.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm curious to see if we'll get more submissions in, and if we get like so many submissions, hopefully for the next month, we'll be able to reach more people, and maybe we'll have to even start on our end, filtering. We think we'll each like choose our own, because I think we have enough pioneers to do that, so everybody would pick their own, and then you're voting. I guess for the pioneer and the art we chose. So hopefully we'll get tons more submissions. We all love to see your guys' skills, and hopefully we'll be able to get even better art. Alright, since we have some, I guess we got some time here, I just wanted to quickly mention what we're supposed to be getting timeline-wise for Brave Frontier. As a lot of you guys know, we've kind of been disrupted with the entirety of the Thanksgiving madness global exclusives. So what we were expecting for this week, instead of Ultor and the Vocaloids, Rin and Len, were the 6-star Sheeta batch, which I'm sure a lot of people were looking forward to. Old units, really old units, and I mean really old units, as in start of the entire game units getting 6-star forms finally. And I guess in terms of like scaling, they actually scaled out pretty well, even though they are really old. And then after that, everybody's favorite sets coming up. We got the 6-star Arden Fiora's batch, and the ever reliable 6-star Ziz coming in. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard about Ziz in one way or another. So I guess for the next 3 or so weeks, we are going to get, we're supposed to get those units. And maybe somewhere along the line, they'll be interrupted by, 5-star releases of the most recent Japanese set, which are the, somebody told me first glance it was like Dungeons and Dragons. Now you got your units and the dragons.
And Christmas.
Yeah, and Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, we also might get interrupted by yet another exclusive. Who knows? We'll probably get some form of 6-star eventual unit release of Christmas units, because they did one for Halloween, they did one for Thanksgiving. Most likely they'll do one for Christmas as well.
They did
currently
2 for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they did. Well, I kind of count this as a batch. The Vocaloids were kind of more surprising than Ultor, because I thought it was Ultor, and maybe we'll get something along the line of the Vocaloids, because they were just released, and I was like, oh, we'll get this maybe in addition, to a rare summon week. But no, we get it this week, because there's still a gem sale going on. If you guys didn't know, there's currently Amazon has a 20% off for I believe it is 10,000 and 5,000 Amazon coin deal. So that's 20% off, running until the end of the year. So Amazon coins are just straight up cheaper than paying with real money. And then you have the bonuses that Gumi has. The 30% discount on the 100 gem bonus on the 100 gem packs. You get 130. 20% more on 50 gems. 12% more on 24 gems, and 8% more on the 12 gem pack. And if you're using Amazon coins, there's still the 10% rebate going back, so I guess it's a good time to buy gems. Hopefully, they'll do something even better for Christmas, because the Black Friday deal wasn't as exciting as I'm sure a lot of you guys were expecting. I would have liked to see like 50% rebates, 30% extra. I think 30% extra across everything would be nice, and 50% rebates. Kind of feel bad for the iTunes users because they never get anything. Hopefully they'll get something too.
No, never. It's not going to happen.
All right, guys. I'm going to reveal the winner of the art contest.
Oh, man.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
My body's ready.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow. We have a total of 224 votes.
What?
What?
232 now. And the winner is Mischievous Star.
Holy
Congratulations.
What?
Wow.
There are some
Oh,
logistical
man.
errors there.
I'm confused. What?
Apparently you can vote for more than one selection. Interesting. You can pick 5 at the same time. That's what it is. That was a problem with the last one too. We'll have to fix that later.
Mr. Star came
Well,
first.
At least we got votes.
Yeah, with 50 votes. Kamikat came in second. Kamikat was the last art winner for the last season. He came in 36. And we got really close votes behind that. We had No Pro at 29, and then Buttscar and Nikki 24, Egoist at 25, and Lord Imperious at 22, and Saikuno at 26. Congratulations, Mr. Star. I will send you a $10 Amazon gift card via Twitch, and you will also receive a 50% off code in the future. Just look.
Quick update regarding that. As you guys know, in the past week, there were some issues on the Brave Frontier side, most namely the connection errors for 3 days. And we've been getting connection errors with Amazon as well. Things aren't going 100% smoothly, so we'd like to thank everybody for still being here on the unit analysis, especially over this Thanksgiving week break. And I also want to congratulate Monsieur Star for winning the art contest. If I could get a picture of Ciara, that would be one of them.
So are we gonna have the winning submission on our site for any amount of time?
Yes, we will have the winning. All of the submissions will be on our website, but this year's star submission will be on our front page, and people can visit and take a look.
Nice.